Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I do need to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Shemel Shabbat Shem Kakadash. The ones the apostles, Nels Great Millstone, for teaching us his true peace and blessing to the hope like Israel. Yahweh is the name of the Father name Hebrew, Hashem is the name, Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. Back here in lesson, and as you see within the title, we're going to be going to these strange signs in the sky, these signs within the heavens, and particularly within this lesson dealing with the chariots, these so-called UFOs today, and also have one video going to, I believe, appears to be two suns, if not two moons, if the exact video, but I also have that thrown in there, and just everything that we're seeing, and ultimately how these things are not to be taken lightly, and how it's not to be glossed over. But as you see, lies goes over people's head. They'll want to believe the lies and deceits of Esau, Edom, because many times you'll have this devil come out and say, it's a natural, weather phenomena. It's the particles in the sky reflecting the light in the sky. You know how this devil operates. I said Corinthians 2:11, but I do have a couple videos going to this video you see in the background. A lot of people spotted this, chariot in the sky. And I believe you even had a helicopter, I believe, trying to observe it, if I'm correct. But read the caption, see what it says. Did anyone else in Ephrata, PA, see this odd form of light move across the sky while watching for shooting stars from the Perseids comet? And they randomly formed over us and continued to change shape before moving over the horizon out of sight. Now, the update supposedly was a rocket launch, and this is what they always run to, especially when you see a similar form like this. Because I remember one a while back where you seen like a spiral in the sky, if not, I believe it may have been similar to this right here, but they also called it a rocket launch failure, and it's what you've seen. No. The update supposedly was a rocket launch in Florida. However, this happened 3 hours prior to the video, and also it isn't going to re-enter the atmosphere, meaning it should have been seen. It also changed shapes in the sky, very odd. So this is devil just trying to sweep under the rug, call you crazy, make it seem like you don't know what you're talking about. But I don't want to stall at the intro too long. Play a couple of these videos, and that'll be that.
Splitting.
Watch. I got it right in my phone right here. Look.
It's like, dude, what the fuck?
What the hell is
Okay,
that?
what is this?
Something looking just went by it, but that's probably a plane.
What the hell are we witnessing right now?
Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm getting a good video of this.
I haven't zoomed into it, but let me get zoom out of it. Hold on.
And once again, so many people, like I said, I got multiple videos of people seeing the sighting here. And you're not going to have many of those people make the same mistake of what they seen. I remember making this one lesson, as well as many other brothers I've also went to a while back, dealing with that chariot sighting over there in New Jersey, if I'm correct. For the exact state, but at least over in New Jersey. You had people on the highway pulling over to record that chariot that they spotted. And after the dust is settled, they said I was a blimp. Just one of those blimps that they seen. Everybody that stopped in the road, which I believe was like, I don't even say the hundreds, but it was well over, I believe 20 plus people that stopped on the highway to look at what they seen. Let's see one.
And see it from like normal. What is it?
What is that?
That's cool as fuck, dude. There's
What
something
is
in
it?
the middle of it.
It looks like a. I don't really
There's
know.
something in the middle. Is it turning? No.
Hey, you have seen nothing yet. Just wait. Wait till the chariot starts getting close to the ground, becoming a lot more evident, for lack of better words. But you still have people making excuses as to, what they've seen. Just going to that point, trying to create excuses as to what they've seen or what people seen. Yeah, that was a natural weather phenomenon. That was something that took place in the sky, and the light reflected off the clouds, which appears to be, I could just, give a little example of the type of things that they say. Because you always have this devil come out and giving it a scientific term. And you have these people that eat it all up. They believe it. Very soon, there's going to be no excuses to be made. It's going to be right in front of you, man. Let's do the videos.
Cambia. Apostemos que se cambia. Yo, what the fuck? That niggas is not low. Yo, ¿qué diablo es eso, bro? Yeah, they know we talking about it. Eso es, que ellos saben que está hablando. Yo, bro, what the fuck is that, bro?
Because this is one of their main excuses that they run to, that is a rocket failure. I don't know how many times they've used that. You know, various videos. News came out, it was just a rocket failure. They're doing experiments, they're doing tests, and the rocket spiraling in the air. Excuses, man.
Diablo, me escondió.
See, this is the other video I was talking about. You know, a while back, you had over there in China what appeared to be, I want to say, 3 suns, if not 2. Forgot, however many, but you also have that example, and you get what's in scripture, how the Lord showed new signs and other strange wonders. These type of things that the Lord's going to do, how the Lord may do it. Whether he may use Esau, Edom to use his technology dealing with Project Bluebeam, which is something they've been, or things that they have. But you have many people that like to always bring up, it's Project Bluebeam, this and that. Well, either way, it's still through his pin, probably how Bashmel shot. Have the Lord may do it. It's still the work of the Lord. No one right here. This is what I'm talking about, the helicopter.
What is that? What the fuck is that? Se mira como una nave,
Now look at this. Take a few minutes to read Science News, and you will find out the exact rocket launch that caused it. Look, excuses after excuses. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't know how many times they use the rocket failure as an excuse. There you go. See, many people spotted this.
Pero I gotta look outside.
Well, that's the point right there. Let's get these scriptures at hand, going through the chariots, and really dealing with these signs within the heavens, which accidentally scrolled off again. There you go. Alright, let's go back up. Now let's go Luke 21, 25 through 58. And it says there should be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and upon the earth distress the nations with perplexity, this sea and the waves roaring. And really dealing with these signs within the heavens. Going back to the top of the verse, there should be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars. Made a lesson just the other day going to this lunar eclipse that's going to take place, I believe, next month. Where you're really going to have half the world, or pretty much nearly all of it, be able to see it. And also how these sightings, these signs, they have meaning. It's not to be just glossed over and just disregarded as nothing. The Lord does these things for a reason. As it should be signs in the sun and the moon and in the stars. So to deal with these signs within the heavens, and go back to the title, strange signs in the sky, and these chariots are also a part of that, which is a great sign for those of us in this truth, but a terrible sign to the people of this world. Because these chariots is a sign of our salvation, a sign of our deliverance, which I mean also in Matthew 24 and 30. But also you're going to have these chariots, these angels within those vehicles, because they're not no green or gray aliens within those chariots, these so-called UFOs. There are angels within those vehicles and they're dark-skinned men. And go back to that point, They're going to have them play a role in the salvation of the nation of Israel, but also play a role in the destruction of this place. Why do you think this devil has created a space force in the first place? And you can also get throughout various scriptures of what's getting ready to unfold, dealing with this war in heaven, which is not speaking of a war in the spiritual realm. Because that's something you see heavily pushed within these churches. But let's see, they show you examples, because ultimately this devil knows what's up. And you see within these movies, Independence Day, Battle of Los Angeles, which, if you actually look into that, that's a real thing. And we had a chariot, pop over there, and you had the military shooting at it. And you see various other alien movies, but that's just this image the devil's trying to form. Dealing with these green and grays. But let's verse 26. Men's heart fell into fear, inflicting out things which are coming to the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. These people are going to be shook, and they're going to be afraid, man, having literal heart attacks. Men's heart fell in them for fear. And you already see people panicking now. Verse 27, and then shall see the Son of Man, which Yahweh shall come in a cloud with power and great glory. Now it's not a literal white puffy cloud containing water. Speaking of these chariots, which are likened unto those clouds. A wheel in the middle of a wheel. A flying roll. Now it's verse 28. And when these things begin to come pass, and look up, lift your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Jeremiah 10:2. That's a great scripture. And thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. There's the one that should be shook and afraid of these things. There should be a faith booster to those in his faith and his truth. As with the GNT, it says, do not follow the ways of other nations. Do not be disturbed by unusual sights in the sky, even though other nations are terrified. Would it not be likened unto an unusual sight? Seeing something strange in the sky that you've never seen before. And we've been saying this, dudes, but probably how about Shemal Shai? Expect more chariot sightings, man. Expect a lot more chaotic and hectic things to happen. So further going to show the type of times that we were in. Matthew 24:30-31. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall the tribe of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Once in those clouds are speaking of these chariots, these so-called UFOs / UAPs. But within the scriptures about around speak too fast, Salakia. The chariots, Also dealing with Ezekiel 1, a wheel in the middle of a wheel. Zechariah, I want to say the 4th chapter, going to a flying roll, Verse 31, he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Like I made that point earlier, you're going to have these angels play a role in the salvation of the nation of Israel. Well, they're also going to play a part in the destruction of the place, between 2 Ezra 13. Revelation 12 especially goes into that war in heaven. Acts 2:19-20 now show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke. And this is what you are seeing. Signs within the heavens, man. And these signs you see within the sun and in the moon, dealing with these eclipses, these blood moons, all these different things, they have meaning, they have significance. For 20, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and notable day of the Lord comes. So these are the various things that we will see and take place before the Lord Yahweh Shai will return. Is Ecclesiastes 36:6. Briefly brought this up earlier. It says, show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand, thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous work. So let's be doing, a lot of new things, man. Show new signs and make other strange wonders. Times like never before. You're seeing multiple suns in the sky, multiple moons. We just played within that video. And you may see other things the Lord may do. Revelation 1:7. As behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kings of the earth shall wail because of him. Those clouds are once again speaking of the chariots. Get that close to scripture, Psalms 104:3, just to bring that all together. As like, who laid the beams of cherubim in the waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariot? Who walketh upon the wings of the winds? So showing those clouds are speaking of which are the chariots, which are the so-called UFOs / UAPs, USOs, all these different labels are called today. Or then speaking of the chariots. Because they mentioned, clouds many times over. But that's the point right there. Just a quick lesson to the spirit. Make a listen more to those videos that I came across dealing with that particular chariot sighting, these strange sightings in the sky, and how these things are really not to be glossed over once again. But that's the point. Doing close that and give all praise, all honor, and glory to Yahweh, Shem, Shabbat, Shem, Dash, and Shalom. See you next one, Lord as well.